before we end up our class at before 10:30 today. Okay, before 8:30 today. Okay, it goes straight to my PowerPoint. It's my PowerPoint here. Okay. We go to the reading. Allah. Sekejap I don't want to go to the slideshow. Slideshow is too big. I cannot see some of your faces. Walaupun tak on the camera, at least I can see some of the names. Alright. I believe we finished already with the organizational structure, right? Okay, so write yes or no on the chat. The first part on topic 11 is organizational structure. Yeah, I believe we have finished discussing on the elements of organizational culture. Okay, so write yes or no on the chat. We finish this one, right? Yeah. Ke kelas satu lagi yang saya dah habis until centralization and decentralization. Dah belum? Ada 30 orang dalam ni. I need you to write on the chat, yes or no? Atika, have you finished this part? Not Atika? The organizational structure? Atika, write yes or no on the chat. Awak dengar tak? Awak dengar tak suara saya? Oh, we haven't discussed this. Yeah? Alright. Thank you, Asra Nazira. Okay, so if we don't discuss this, I have to go to... so we finish already on conflict and negotiation, right? Ini yang conflict and negotiation dah habis kan?
Yes, madam.
Alright, thank you for responding. Okay, so we move to, so means that the other class I have discussed is organization structure and culture. Okay, so this is the learning outcomes. Okay, so for the topic of organization culture, let me see here, we will only discuss the elements of organization structure. Okay, so in your class principles of management, you have your lecturer have discussed the topic of organization culture. There are many topics, many subtopics. Okay, but this is just like a revision because we add this in the OB syllabus because it is in the BOK or body of knowledge of MQA. Okay, so though you have discussed in principles of management, I just want to add and the subtopic of organization structure, but I will only focus on the elements. Okay, we would not discuss in depth, so we'll only focus on the elements of the organizational structure. Okay, do you remember that you have learned this in your principles of management class? Okay, write yes or no on the chat. Okay, this topic here, this one, the subtopic, the elements of organizational structure. Alright, thank you also Asra Nazira. Okay, yeah, thank you Awanesha. Okay, alright, thank you Nelly. Okay, so we'll only focus on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. Okay, 6 elements of elements of organization structure. Okay. We have discussed what is work specialization, departmentalization. Alright, okay. Work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization and decentralization, and formalization. Okay, from the 6 here, anybody would like to discuss only on one of these? Okay, so one of you will discuss, for example, on one of the elements that you would like to just share before we continue with our discussion. Okay, So you can choose, okay, you want to discuss or give some preview of what is, for example, work specialization. Okay, Patricia, okay. Before we stop the class nanti, I would like to talk to you, Patricia. Okay, work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization. Okay, you choose one. Anybody would like to just give a preview of one of these elements of organization structure? I'll give you 1 minute. I wait for a volunteer or one or two volunteers. So if there are no volunteers, I choose one person. Just a preview of, for example, you want to talk about work specialization. You can recall to you can refer to the module, or you can just go to the Google, or you can recall from what you have learned in your principles of management. Any of these elements of structure. This is 8:41. I will until 8:42. For you to give me the answer. Alright, it's already 8:42. Do we have any volunteer? First of all, I would like to know whether you understand my question or not. Okay. Let me just write. Okay. Do you understand my question? Okay. So you write yes or no on the chat box. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. You all faham tak soalan saya? Hampa ni pagi ni.
Madam suruh terangkan yang kan.
Any one of these elements of organization structure. Okay, thank you Ashratul. Okay, so you choose one, the one that you can recall or the one that you can elaborate. Just share. Okay, maybe from your own experience ke, maybe from your reading ke. Okay, Ashratul Nazira, you want to choose any of these element? Ada tak?
Ada sejak madam.
Okay, boleh. Okay, the rest also I wait for one or two more, okay? Kalau tak ada juga nanti I'll choose Atika, not Atika?
Yes, madam.
You bergema lah Atika. You want to choose any of these apa nama elements of structure ni Atika? Atika, can you hear?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Choose one. We have Asratul Nazira and Atika. Bila Atika cakap saya kena tutup suara kot. Okay, any volunteer? While waiting for Asratul Nazira and Atika to choose. Okay, maybe we need a guy pula. We have Asratul Nazira, Atika saya pilih tadi. And okay, any gentleman here? Any handsome gentleman? Siapa yang tak menyawa je tak handsome? Okay, we need one from a guy. Okay, you awesome kat belakang tu. Siapa yang you nak come out with the bit of explanation? Okay, Asratul Nazira dah? Department. Alright, Aisyah, got one here. Departmentalization in the process of grouping activities into departments. Alright. Okay. What kind of departments? One Aisyah. That is correct. Okay, but just gives example of the department. Okay, Aisyah just elaborate a bit more. Okay, grouping activities into departments, right? Okay. Give some examples of the departments. Okay. Yes, that would be the example. Thank you. Yeah. So departmentalization have been taken by Wan Aisyah. Asratul Nazira, you have to take a different one.
Yes, I think span of command.
Alright.
I'm still writing.
Okay, baik. Okay, a guy. One guy. Okay, if nobody volunteer, I'll choose siapa ya? Okay, Muhammad Amirul Zaini ada tak? Amirul Zaini. Muhammad Amirul Zaini. Okay, yeah, thank you. Asratul, you got one more here. The number of people can be managed efficiently and effectively by manager. So the difference of number could be based on the hierarchy of the manager. Okay, so a top management, maybe the spend is small. Okay, so we want to know the reason. Okay, later on we discuss that one. Okay, and for the lower level of managers, okay, the spend is bigger. Okay, in comparison to the span of control by the top management. Alright, thank you. Asratul Nazira. Atika? Okay, choose one Atika. Which one you want to discuss? Atika, can you hear me? Okay, so waiting for Atika and apa tadi? Amirul. Amirul Zaini. And Amirul Zaini. Thank you. Alright, okay. So these two people, we don't know what happened. Yeah, that Atika and Amirul Zaini. Okay, so we go to, thank you for your friends. Okay, so you have to say thank you to your friends. Okay, Wan Aisyah and Asratul Nazira. Okay, can you say thank you to them? Can you just on your mic sekejap and say thank you to these two students?
Thank you.
Okay, okay. For responding and giving the answers. Okay, I just want to have some preview of this. Yang bagi yang cakap thank you pun seorang ke dorang je, subhanallah, you all ni. So these are the elements of organizational structure. Okay, the first one is word specialization. So this is based on the degree that activities are subdivided into different jobs. Okay, departmentalizations for the jobs to be grouped together, okay, in a division or in department or in units. Okay, chain of command, who report to who. Okay. The subordinates will, for example, the operative will report to first line manager, first line will report to the middle manager will report to the top management. Okay, so like this one, okay, I make it a bigger bit. Mana tadi? Okay, here for example we have 6 kpm there, and all this kpm will of course there are a hierarchy also in this particular organization, but we have the director who, and also the rest of the employees will also report to bahagian pendidikan tinggi MARA. Okay, and at bahagian pendidikan MARA, the director will report to Timbalan Ketua Pengarah Pendidikan, and Timbalan Ketua Pengarah Pendidikan will report to, for example, to the Ketua Pengarah MARA. Ketua Pengarah MARA will report to the Majlis MARA, where we have what we call the chairman of MARA. Okay, so find out who are the chairman of MARA and the Ketua Pengarah MARA. And then the rest of that, the chairman of Majlis MARA will report to the Menteri. Okay, find out which ministry are we in. Okay, so that will be the example. So here in our own organization, we have these lecturers will report to the head of department, head of department will report to the Timbalan Pengarah Ehwal Akademik, that will report to, he or she will report to the director. Okay, and our director will report to the director of bahagian pendidikan tinggi. Okay, so this is what happened in organization. Okay, so in terms of chain of command, okay, so your friend have mentioned in terms of the number of employees that a manager can manage effectively. Okay, and then centralization and decentralization. Okay, Atika, ada kat sini lagi tak? Atika, are you here? Just now who dia? Amirul Zaini. Are you here? Okay, we don't know what happened to these people. Okay, so centralization is when decision is made by people at the top. Okay, where on the other hand, decentralization where decision being pushed down. So the top management give power, or in other words, trust the employees at the lower level to make decision. That is decentralization. Okay, formalizations when there are rules and regulation. Okay, for example, if you want to avoid a lot of rules and regulations when you are working, okay, you may have to have your own business lah, or you may have worked in a small private institution. If you work with government, for example, or large financial institution ke, then there will be lots of rules and regulation, lots of memos, lots of letters, lots of also circulars, okay, or perkeliling. Okay, that is formalization, high formalizations with lots of rules and regulation. Okay, so the concept of work specialization here has been popular, okay, since 1940s and even before 1940s, okay, with the first industrial revolution, okay, where people started working in factories. Okay, so it refers to the degree to which activities in organizations are subdivided into separate jobs. Okay, so when you go to work in the factory, you are being set in one assembly line, for example, and you are responsible to do the same task again and again. So we call that as division of labor or work specialization. So what happened here in terms of divisions of labor or work specialization, okay, this is happen when a job is divided into number of steps. Each step is completed by different individual, and in one assembly line you are only responsible to one step or one activity. Okay, the next step will be done by other worker, could be in another assembly line or in another row. Okay, so an individual worker will specialize in doing only a part of an entire activity. Okay, so improvement, because they believe that when, okay, I want you to write down one of the advantage of this work specialization. Okay, write on the chat. What would be the one advantage of work specialization when you do the same task again and again? Okay, I want you to come up with the advantage of work specialization. Okay, job will be more better. You'll be such as an expert. Okay, because you do the same task again and again. Yeah, thank you. Okay, expert, and also answer given here. Job will be more better. Okay, or better, tak payah more. Okay, kalau English dia salah kat sini. Okay, tapi in terms of responding, that's good already. Okay, so becoming an expert. Alright. Okay. So individual worker will specialize in doing only a part of an entire activity. Improvement of the skills and productivity through repeated, because you do it again and again. Okay. But then this management found out that a lot of people at the top, and they found out that after sometimes, for example, if you go to factory to install tire, besok pasang lagi tayar, besok pasang lagi tayar, and then the next day you install tire some more. And what happen is that agaknya you okay tak, suka tak awak, kerja awak sama je, esok pasang tayar, the next day you pergi kerja pasang tayar. Okay, Ayi yang masuk ni, okay tak Ayi kerja macam tu, the next day you masuk lagi pasang tayar lagi. So you do the same, you become an expert of installing the tire. Okay tak Ayi? Zuhairi?
For me, it's okay, madam.
For you okay lah, you buat again and again. So you becoming an expert. Okay, so just like what your friends has stated, if you can read from the chat, okay, you becoming an expert. But after sometimes, there are the human diseconomies. In terms of the first one, in terms of economy, productivity go up. Okay, but after sometimes, if I don't know for certain people, after some time, you do the same thing again and again, you become tired or become bored. So after sometimes, they can see in terms of management, in terms of productivity after sometimes go down because of this issue of boredom. Okay, it's issues of the individual employees. Okay, so around 1960s, human economies from this we call is there is a chart actually. Yeah, you should just Google or you refer to certain OB textbook. Okay, there's a chart to show that at the beginning when work specialization is being introduced, in organization, you can see that the in terms of the graph of productivity goes up. But after sometimes, for these employees who are doing the same task again and again, you can see from the graph, from going up, it can go down because of what? Benda-benda ni lah. Can be seen in the form of boredom, fatigue, stress, low productivity. Some people, they don't want to do just the same thing again and again. Okay, and then finally, though they becoming an expert because of they become even, for example, tired, they become bored. Okay, so what happened? Poor quality might happen. Okay, and increase also absenteeism and also high turnover. Go away from the company and find a job. Okay, so this is work specialization. Okay, so I believe in some factories they are still practicing the concept of work specialization because of it's easier for the management to monitor. Yeah. But for some people, the employees themselves, sometimes they might not want to continue working because they feel bored, okay? Or they feel tak ada kerja lain ke aku boleh buat. Okay, for example, today is okay in terms of, for example, apa nama dia? If you go to toll, the toll, the person who now there are no more people who will wait in the toll, dekat toll apa nama, dekat dia punya bilik tu. Last time kan we have to pay for them. Kita pun bayar kat dia pun akan get the money and return, for example, if there are the balance for the money, so it will be slow. The people who are doing something like that setiap hari, sometimes becoming bored. And now the job is no longer is being taken care by machine. So ada advantage, disadvantage juga. For the people who are bored, there are no more tasks like that for them to do. But the issues that they don't have to hire to have many person to be working at the told anymore because the machines dah macam-macam dah, touch and go lah, RFID lah, and so on. Okay, it's working for people. Okay, so this is around 1940s to 1960s, but today also if you go to factories, some management are still practicing this. Yeah, concept of divisions of labor. Okay, the next one your friends have mentioned. Aisyah tadi dah cakap kat sini. Aisyah tadi. Okay, departmentalization is the process of grouping activities into department. So it's easier in terms of, and tadi one person will do the same task again and again. This one department. Okay, one particular department. Okay, so it's known as departmentalization. Okay, the basis that job in organizations are grouped together. Okay, so this will be the example of how organization departmentalize. Their how organizations group together. Or departmentalize their organization. Some of the companies or many of the companies, they use the concept of functional departmentalization. So this is the basis for functional departmentalizations. If you go to any organization, you Google and then you check, for example, Mara, okay, you check, for example, Honda ke whatever. So they have their HR. They have their HR department. They have their marketing department. They have their administration unit. They have their financial department or unit. So this is how organization departmentalize their units or groups of employees. So the HR people will work in the HR department. The finance people, though they will be hired through human resource, they will be working in the financial department. The operators, will be working in the factories, for example, or in the operation department. So group activities by function perform. So this is the basis. Selain daripada tu, they can also, organization can also divide their group, their employees through product or service departmentalizations, group activities by product or service. They have this one factory, they produce, for example, shampoo, soap, produce what you call, and then they have shampoo for children, for example. So they one department will handle one product. Or one kalau dulu Lycom dekat somewhere dekat Bukit Rambai ke, dia ada banyak sub factories. So one factory will produce one output. That is based on product or service departmentalizations, group activities by type of product or service. And then geographical departmentalization. So based on geographical area. The southern part, they have one unit, one department. The northern part, the eastern part, East Malaysia. Then the western part, for example. So this is based on geography. So we have KPM Sri Iskandar in Perak. We have KPM Indra Mahkota in Kuantan. We have Beranang, and then we have Melaka je ada dua, and then we have the southern part, we have Bandar Penawar, and then the adik yang terkini di mana? Adik KPM yang paling bongsu at this moment di mana? Anybody have any idea?
Perak?
Perak dah tak bongsu lagi dah. Ada yang lebih bongsu lagi.
Tak pasti dulu.
Tak pasti. Okay, Ashraf tu yang menjawab, yang lain-lain? Tak pasti juga.
Tak pasti, madam.
Tak pasti juga. Ada di Beaufort, Sabah. Ada kini tu dia tak ada lagi what you call bangunan kekal. Dia, I think Mara is renting or doing something like that. Di Beaufort, Sabah. Civita is eyeing lah for a position in Beaufort, Sabah. Walaupun mereka tak ada lagi diploma program, they have IEP programs, and also the latest I heard that they're going to have LCCI, sijil LCCI. Dulu kami buat tu masa IPM, zaman IPM. Now I don't know, Mara would like to take it again. And of course they are progressing to have a diploma program in the future. Tu adik bongsu. We have in the Malaysia Timur. Sabah, they start with Sabah, could be in the future. We have Sabahan also, we have Sabahan, Sarakian also we have. Okay. So that is based on geographical. Okay. So if the northern part will cater people from the northern part, the southern part will cater the customers from the southern parts, for example. Okay. And then process departmentalization, for example, if you go to have your license JPJ, you go to one counter to another counter before you get your license, for example. Say the same goes to if you go to hospital, for example, one counter to another counter until you are warded or you are discharged, ataupun you just becoming what you call outpatient. So process departmentalization is based on what process or steps. Sama contohnya when you register for registration. Dah lama tak buat the what you call the manual registration. So when we have manual registration, we have like one counter to another counter before you can have your hostel room. For instance. Next. Customer departmentalization uses a particular type of customer the organization seeks to reach. Some factories, some companies, katakan Nestle, Yos, I've dealt with Yos before. I deal with Yos before. Masa tu saya jaga koperasi, long time ago. Not in KPM I molek lah masa kat KPM Melaka. So this, for example, Yos or Nestle, they have different types of customers. So they have different account. So yang jaga account for wholesalers, kalau katakan Yos dia jual barang Yos product to Maidin, they have a different unit who take care of these wholesalers. And the price for these wholesalers will be different because wholesalers they buy in bulks, in large amount. So wholesalers will get a different price, lower price. They have also account for retailers. Katakan macam koperasi KPM Melaka dulu, so consider as retailer kan, kita kecil kan, so they have different price for the retailers which is higher a bit from the wholesalers. Sometimes they have a different account, some companies they have different account for government. Ada setengah produk yang dia dah copkan hak kerajaan Malaysia, for example. So there is the they're dealing with customer departmentalization, uses a particular type of customers. So the next one, chain of command. I think somebody have mentioned, ni span of control. Alright. Span of command here is based on how many immediate subordinates that a particular manager deal with. Contoh kat sini, we go to what we have lah here. Kat sini we have our director. How many immediate staff will report to her yang betul-betul di bawah our director. MPP ada kat sini, MPP ada kat college ni, MPP dealing with management kan, you kena tahu ni. The rest of you, of course, you have to know also. Our director, Puan Samsia kan? Betul tak? Who is our director? Siapa pengarah kita? Subhanallah, ya Allah ni. Awak dengar tak suara saya?
Dengar madam, Puan Samsia madam.
Ya, betul. Kenapa tak berjawab? Ya Allah ni, subhanallah. Astaghfirullahalazim. MPP pun tak jawab ni. Puan Samsia, for example, how many immediate tahu yang terdekat, immediate employees that she manage. Immediate. Yang betul-betul anda, you go to the organisation chart, you tengok masuk ke KPM Molek punya website ke, you pergi kat depan ke, kat office, the immediate employees that she manage, berapa ramai?
The lecturers?
No, her immediate subordinates. Lecturer do not report immediately to her. Tak tahulah ni. Ya betul. HP, HA dengan TPKP. 3 orang. Yang immediately we report to her. Dia bagi markah pun as the first assessor, dia bagi markah pada 3 orang ni saja. Tapi dia juga all the timbalan pengarah. Tapi dia adalah second assessor nanti kepada yang lain, kepada head of departments, and KUPP. Dia second assessor. So under the TP, kita ambil academic lah. Who is the new Vice Director of Academic Affairs? Yang PP tahu ni, kadang-kadang dia bagi taklimat, dia jadi MC. Who is the new academic Vice Director of Academic Affairs? Bukan Raja Wani. Dia spelling dia macam ni. Okay, tak apalah, dia dekat-dekat. Dia macam ni spelling dia, Raja Wani. Okay, spelling dia macam tu. Alright. So tadi apa? So bawah. HEA, how many she immediately or directly report to her? Dia lebih sikit. Dia ada 4 ketua jabatan. Lepas tu dia ada KUPP. Dulu they put also librarian under HEA, but now librarian is under TPKP. Okay, so that would be the immediate subordinates under HEA sekarang ada 5 orang. Okay, how many? And then the last one, how many immediate subordinates of head of department? Okay, kita ada pengarah HEA. We don't want to talk about HP dengan TPKP tu, bahagian Iwan Pelajar dan TPKP adalah khidmat pengurusan. So kita bawa tengok yang bawa HEA saja. Okay, so we have the pengarah and then HEA. And then HEA immediate subordinate dia adalah head of departments and the KUPP. Okay, for head of department, how many employees immediately report to them? How many lecturers immediately report to the head of department? So jawapannya depending on small or large the department is. So in my department, there are 13 reporting to the head of department. 13 orang bawah saya. So the rest ada yang 16, ada yang 19, ada yang all the lecture, not lectures tau. Okay, saya pun selalu perasan ni pun ada kesilapan antara lectures and lecturers. Okay, be careful. Okay, lectures tu syarahan, lecturers pensyarah. Okay, so nanti next time kalau tulis dalam assignment ke apa ke, okay, so lecturers. Okay, satu adalah syarahan, lecture given by lecturers. Satu lecturers giving lecture. Okay, yes. Okay, but the answer is correct. Okay, all the lecturers under all the lecturers, okay, under the department. Okay, so because people at the top, they are dealing with more cognitive, especially kalau dekat factory. Okay, so the people at the top, they are dealing with the, kalau academic ni dah lain sikit, because lecturers they are independent, they are more independent. Kalau dekat factory, Saya tak perlu nak manage the lecturer sangat pun because they are very independent. Kalau dekat factory, so easier for when the subordinates they manage the operative are doing the same thing again and again like a routine, so easier to manage. Tapi yang ke atas tu they are dealing with cognitive, they are dealing with decision making, they are dealing with having to have another branch how to increase profit. So that's why they manage only small span of control. Yes, so the supervisors at the lower level, especially in the factories, for example, they can deal with 50 or hundreds employees or operators because these operators they are dealing with the task again and again, the same task, routine task. So easier for this supervisor to manage, although the numbers are large. So this depending on the hierarchy and depending on the task that these employees are dealing, or the task that these supervisor are monitoring. Not so true in terms of academic institution actually, of these answers, because in academic institutions when we give a task, bila saya dah buat unyuran, give the task for these lecturers, they are very independent. Dia boleh cari bahan sendiri, dia boleh buat kelas sendiri, just a bit of monitoring sahaja. So this is what we call chain of command, the unbroken line of authority that extend from top, siapa yang dia monitor, from the top of the organisation to the lowest level, and clarify who reports to whom. So authority is the right inherent in the positions of these managers, such as positions such as director, manager, CEO, supervisor. So the right inherent in the managerial positions to give orders. When they give orders, they expect them to be obeyed lah by the subordinates. Unity of command, a person should have one or more. Ini sepatutnya, but sometimes it's not becoming a reality. Kita nampak macam cantik je. Pengarah, HEA, lecturers. But lecturers sometimes they're not only reporting to the HEA, not only reporting to the head of department of HEA. Dia buat kerja-kerja lain. Katakan dia buat kerja the warden. So the warden they got 2 bosses already. Kalau macam Cik Hana tu, she has to report to me and she has to report to the HEP also. Kalau nak cantiknya, when you work there's only one boss, but in reality when you are working sometimes you have to work for many bosses. Some lecturers they are handling certain committees such as innovation and some apa nama committee tu, then they have to report to the TPKP. Dia dah tak cantik dah, tak jadi unity of command dah, but there's the reality of work. When you have macam you belajar kan, you have to do the assignment for Puan Faiza, assignment for siapa lagi lecturer awak, many more lecturers kan. Macam tu lah nanti when you are working. Dia macam cantik in terms of the theory, unity of command. A person should have one and only one superior to whom he or she is directly responsible. Nanti bila you work and then you join this committee, and that committee dia akan, if you remember when in principles of management, siapa ingat the concept of matrix? MATRIX. Rasanya matrix lah. Saya pun dah lama tak ajar management ni. Matrix organizational structure. What happened? Anybody remember what happened in matrix organizational structure? Matrix organizational structure. Apa ingat? Daripada berapa orang yang ada dengan saya ni, 32 of you, anybody can recall matrix structure or matrix structure of organization? I think in your book they give example of, in your book you are using Robin Soso, and Josh Robbins Dicenzo, I think, for principles of management. Under the topic of organizational structure, there are subtopic of matrix structure. So matrix structure, I remember they give examples of lecturers working in university. Okay, so this lecturer working in university, dia ada satu boss, ini namakan dia dean ataupun dekan kan. So there is one boss. Okay, actually they are dealing also with sama juga, they have head of department and then the timbalan dekan akademik and then the dekan, okay, the dean. Okay, so there is one boss. Okay, sometimes when they work, they have to do research. Okay, they have one group doing research, so they have a research leader, for example, so there's another boss. Okay, sometimes they work, they have to deal with the industrial student for latihan industrial training. Okay, so they have one penyelaras, so there's another boss. Okay, or then they work there beside teaching the undergrads, they are teaching masters program, dia ada penyelaras masters or PhD program, they have penyelaras PhD. So that is what happened in the real work. When you work, you are not like this very cantik je, you only report to one boss. In the reality of working life, many organizations are practicing the metric structure in organization. But the immediate boss still the head of department or the dean of a particular faculty. Maknanya bila dia punya research habis, tetap bos dia the dean of a particular faculty. When class 4 masters dia habis, tetap dia report pada the deans of the faculty. Only when they are doing with these activities, committees, they have a different project leader or a boss. So if the unity of command is broken, macam tadi bila ada matrix structure, just like here also sometimes we have to report to a different boss. So an employee kalau tak boleh nak manage, this what happen. If you are is manageable, okay lah, you survive lah until your retirement. An employee might have to cope with conflicting demands or priorities from several superiors. So hopefully we macam ni sekarang ni, you have many lecturers, you report to. Kalau report means that you deal with many lecturers, okay, you're able to manage, you boleh buat assignment ni, you boleh buat test ni, you boleh buat project ni, you boleh study for your final exam that is around the corner, so everything will be good. So the next one is span of control. Ni tadi yang apa cakap tadi, span of control the number of people that can be managed efficiently and effectively. Macam mana cerita je. Span of control. Saya cakap apa tadi? Ni chain of command, span of control, macam mana cerita dah tadi. Okay, the number of people that can be managed efficiently and effectively by manager. So narrow tadi, a single manager oversees few subordinates. Wide span tu when you oversees many. Macam director saya kata 3 orang saja bawa dia. Wide span tu for example, head of department they have dalam berapa belas, so tambahannya they immediately report to them. But if you work in factory, lagilah wider span of control. One line leader, 50 or 100 employees might report to one line leader, or one supervisor. Decentralization and decentralization and decentralization. Centralization, decision made by the top. Top management make decision, the direct employees to follow. The degree to which decision making is concentrated at a single point. Biasanya the director or CEO, whatever the name lah, the branch manager for example, in the organizations where top managers make all decision, dia kurang ada trust. Could be one of the reasons, kurang ada trust to the people at the lower level. So and lower level managers merely carry out their directive. Decentralization, decision making is pushed down. Dalam bahasa Melayu dia gunakan terma penurunan kuasa. Sometimes here what being practiced is that at the beginning of a semester or a year, the directors and people at the top tu, all the vice director, they might have a meeting, kerja ni, orang ni boleh buat, orang ni boleh buat. So they'll ask us to sign. It means we know that this is our task, that we can do, we can make decision, push down to the managers closest to the action. maknanya the immediate boss to that particular employees can take action, can make decisions. So a decentralized organization can act more quickly. Tak payah nak tunggu everything to be reported to the people at the top. Tak payah nak tunggu the top management will, what we call, top management will give instructions or direction. So kerja lebih cepat lagi. More people provide input into decisions. More people means the employees at that lower level tu, dia bincang sama mereka, and employees are less likely to feel alienated from those who make decisions. Sebab this is our task, we know which one is the best one without waiting for whatever instruction from people at the top. Are less likely to feel alienated from those who make decision that affect their work life. Yang formalization ni, high formalization means many rules and regulation. Kalau company tu low formalizations, there are not so many rules and regulation. So formalization refer to the degree to which jobs within organization are standardized. Standardized dengan apa? Dengan cara apa? Dengan providing circulars, memos, every instructions that they have these SOPs and so on. So in a highly formalized organization, employees have minimal amount of discretion sebab semua buat ikut memo tertentu. Refer to the circular of 1092/322. Okay, berikutnya another circular, another issues will be another circular of 422 for example. Itu very highly formalized. Jangan buat apa-apa, refer to the circulars ataupun perkeliling or the policies of the organizations. Employees have a minimal amount of discretion over what to do and when and how to do it. They are explicit, jelas. Job description, lots of organizational rules and procedures covering work processes. In low formalization organization, biasanya if you want to have low formalization organization, the company is small. If you work in government institution, macam MARA ni, dia biasanya adalah bukan biasanya, memang highly formalized organization. There are also circulars on not using social media during working hours. Kadang-kadang saya guna juga. But especially for private matters, for example. To the extent they have the circulars. They have circulars of that one is based on the dia ada circular ni kadang-kadang is from the bahagian semua manusia, ada circular from bahagian what you call semua manusia, kadang daripada bukan bahagian finance. And then we have memos. Kalau BPT we got memos from BPT. And then kita juga ada memos, internal memos. Macam keluar masuk bekerja di tempat kerja, we have memos. Based on a particular what you call center or pusat tertentu. Jadi ada banyak. Kalau dalam MARA punya memang banyak. Circulars for particular divisions. And then we have memos from immediate memos from bahagian pengajian tinggi, our immediate boss. Then we have internal memos some more. So very highly formalized organization. So kalau awak rasa you are somebody who like to have more freedom, so you choose organization which is suitable for you. So in a low formalization organization, jobs behaviors are relatively unprogrammed and employees have a great deal of freedom to exercise discretion in their work. Kalau macam mana government they try to be a bit more flexible. Kalau dulu mana ada flexi hours. Sekarang MARA dah ada flexi hours. Dulu kalau universiti memang dah ada flexi hours. Sekarang MARA dah ada flexi hours. That's why some of us who come in at 7:30 we can go back at 4:30. Dulu semua 85. Kalau ada meeting dia drag sampai pukul 6. Dulu kadang-kadang sampai dekat pukul 7 sampai maghrib for example. Sekarang ni 7:30, 4:30 but sometimes you have to be late for certain occasion, then we wait lah. Till the occasions or event finish. Macam hari ni petang ni kan ada what you call jati diri. I don't know those who are outside the college involved or not. Are you involved with the jati diri something program this afternoon? Dia buat dua Oh, okay. So outsiders macam what? Outsiders ya. Those who are at home dia buat online lah. Dia buat macam mana Haris dia buat sekali MPP tahu tak? Naili. Dia buat serentak lah, okay. Dr. Muak IT ke apa nama dia tu. Alright, okay. And itu pun dah jadi what you call compulsory for students and lecturers pula dah event tu. Okay. Tengah fikir macam mana nak lari 4:30 at 4:30 because biasanya 4:30 saya nak kena tukar hat. Okay, saya tukar topi mama because I have to fetch my youngest son tu. Yeah. Dia dah jadi certain time dia jadi macam tu lah, fikir macam mana nak lari pula. Nak lari because of the time frame for our working hours tu dah cukup. Tapi at the same time dia ada konflik sikit kat situ. At the same time we have to respect lah the event organisers and so on kan. Dia orang pun panggil bersyarah bukan yang sembarang-sembarang, a very good one. That Prof Muak IT somebody nama dia tu. Okay. Alright. Any questions on what call this one? Any questions on the elements of organization structure? So, or if it is okay, you can write one on the chat. Okay. Okay. Alright, thank you for responding. Walaupun berapa orang je respon ni? Orang yang biasa je. Yang tak respon ni okey tak? Yang tak respon ni tak tahu okey ke tak? Wan Azri, Ai, Naim, Syafiqah, Yusof, ada ke tak dia orang ni? Saya panggil lagi sekali Asratun Nazirah ada dah. Darwish. You tak masuk lagi ni, nama-nama ni saya boleh hantar tau. Hari ni satu mesyuarat bar. Okay, and then if there are many more, then we have another meeting lah. Faiz. Alia Uzma.
Ada madam.
Alright. Darling. What happened to Darling? Amirul Hafizi. Amirul Hafizi ni macam nak kena hantar lagi nama dia ni. Okay. Next one. Aida Naziha.
Ada madam.
Haziq, Megat Haziq.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Izmir Haikal. Izmir. Megat cari Izmir ni, bukan BFF awak ke ni?
Bukan. Nanti saya cari dia. Sekejap saya rujuk.
Okay. Zuhairi. Masuk tadi kan? Okay, ni cari yang penting cari ni. Cari Amirul Hafizi ni. Siapa BFF dia ni? Alright. Okay. So we go to the next part. The first part is just now we discussed already. The first part is the organizational structure, okay, and the elements of organizational structure. The next part is here, okay, culture. Okay, the concept of institutionalization, macam mana bahasa Melayu dia? Penginstitutionalisasi. Okay, a forerunner of culture. Macam dulu actually we started our KPM ni dengan nama IPM or Institut Perdagangan Mara. Pernah dengar tak? Pernah dengar tak? Institut Perdagangan Mara. Baca share benda nama. Macam dululah IPM kan, Institut Teknologi Mara. Dulu ITM kan Institut Teknologi. Ni ITM. Masa ITM, Institut Teknologi Mara memang immediately under Mara. Okay? Dia tukar nama dia kepada University Institut Teknologi Mara tu UiTM. Itu KPT take over. Okay, so no longer under Mara, but they do not dia tak keluarkan perkataan Mara tu. Yeah, and they are still taking Bumiputra lah, I think. Yeah, as the students. Yeah, but it's not immediately under Mara lagi. Yeah, dan dulu we started KPM, bukan dengan nama KPM, we started with Institut Perdagangan Mara. Okay, started in 93, 94 saya join in. We started very new in 1993 when I joined, very new lah. Even masa at the beginning, this is the history, you have to know a bit lah. Yeah, at the beginning when IPM was being, Mara Liner is under Mara also, but Bas Mara Liner is anak syarikat. Yeah, it's like KPTM. Dulu KPTM tak ada tau, dulu IPM staff of KPTM and dalam nama dia Infotrain, zaman dulu nama dia Infotrain. Okay, we are working together. Yeah, dulu tak ada KPTM. So sekarang KPTM is anak syarikat, UniKL pun anak syarikat. I think few more lah anak syarikat. JMI semua tu anak syarikat. That one is all UniKL kan. So accept JMI. Okay, the rest is UniKL. Bermasuk ni Amirul Hafizi ni. Okay. Dulu nama dia IPM. It started in KL, IPM KL. Lepas tu one is masa tu dekat Jalan Raja Laut. And then split into two. One is KPM Beranang, another one is KPM Melaka lah. Masa asal dia IPM. Okay. Dua je waktu tu. Okay, started with one lah in Jalan Raja Laut, Kuala Lumpur. And then becoming two. Okay. And after sometimes they brand it like a new brand lah to College Professional Mara, and people confused also with another KPM, Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia kan. Yeah, so kita tambah lah ke ujung tu KPM Air Molek ke Bandar Melaka ke. So now we have 7 lah with the new adik yang saya kata, okay, in Beaufort Sabah tu. Okay, so we have that's some of the story. Okay, when we were in KPM Melaka, okay, one in KPM Melaka, Jalan Raja Laut. Yeah, at the time, Mara only thinking of to have a new campus in Air Molek. It takes like more than 10 years to develop actually this KPM Air Molek dengan kontraktor lari lah, subkon lari dah macam-macam. Almost 10 years juga. So we waiting for this KPM Air Molek. So when it became a reality, I asked for transfer lah sebab dekat dengan rumah saya, and memang kawasan saya pun kat sini. Okay, saya kan umpai dalam kat sini. Okay, and then the bandar, they thinking at the beginning nak buat apa dengan bandar tu. Okay, finally Mara come up also with another KPM lah. Yeah, KPM Bandar Melaka. Okay, so it's split into DBS bawa ke sini, DIA bawa ke sini, then stay kat sana, and then they add up with another 2 more diploma programs, okay, the business finance and also halal, okay. And when we are being split into 2, they have their own life, we have our own life. We have our own life, they have their own life. So some students, the brother is there, then the younger brother here, the elder brother over there, for example, and you compare, and all their friends is there, and you are here, and then you compare, for example, in terms of they can go out and they can come back before 10. Okay, you can go out, but you have to come back after before 7, for example, okay, to the hostel. You cannot do that kind of comparison anymore because they are of different, they have their own life, we have our own life, okay. Although we are, of course, we managed by EPT, but there are certain rules and regulation is being set by that particular center. You cannot compare. Sebab diorang tak lalu kelapa sawit, diorang tak lalu ladang getah to be here. That's what some of the reasons. Saya memalang, walaupun saya orang kampung sini, saya memalang masih tak berani nak keluar-keluar. Kalau ikutkan nenek saya tambak payah, saya pada dalam, this is my area pun saya tak berani nak merayau sana sini. But now it's being developed already lah. Some of the location, tambak payah dah banyak kawasan perumahan and so on. Pada dalam pun dah banyak kawasan perumahan and so on. Just to tell you that although originally we are one, when we are being split, they have their own life. We have our own life. We have to go on with our life. They have to go on with their life. Although the people at the top still manage us, still we have to report to them. So institutionalization ni apabila berlaku when an organisation takes on a life of its own apart from any of its members, or becomes values for itself, kita sahaja, and acquires immortality of who ourselves. That is becoming also an issues where the alumni of business and DRA, dia macam tak rasa they are part of IMOLED because they have been in a KPM Melaka for 3 years. For example, awak rasa 2 tahun je, diorang dulu 3 tahun. They don't feel that they are part of IMOLED. For example, when we want to do alumni, tapi kita dah boleh start dengan our own. Our own alumni sebab we started 2009. Anak saya yang 2009, lahir 2009 pun dah masuk form 1 kan, dah 13 tahun dah umur. So this is a metaphor. Potok pula. Pokok ni, the trees, is being represented as an organisation. Faiz ada tak kat sini, Faiz? Faiz tak masuk Yusof ada tak, Yusof? Yusof? Kenapa semua tak ada hari ni ke tak menyawat ni? Anas ada tak, Anas?
Ada, madam.
Alhamdulillah dia yang menyawat. Nas, can you just read this, what you call this metaphor here, differences of comparisons of tree and culture? Just read. Baca je.
Just read, madam.
Yes.
Okay. The tree represent the culture of the organization. They go deep. They hold everything in place. The values, belief, and corporate assumption are the roots. The second factor that affect that well-being life of our organizational tree is the climate. Water in the form of rain and light from the sun sustain our tree. The season interact. The climate obviously has an impact on how much our tree can thrive. Climate represent the behavior, attitude, and feeling of the organization, which in turn affect its operational processes or life in terms of communications, problem solving, decision making, and how it learns. Not all trees are the same. Each has a different root system and each react to the local climate in differing ways.
Okay, thank you, Anas. I want one person just to kind of sum up or kind of sum up or focus on what is the main idea here, or just state the main idea or the main things that you learn from this statement or from this, call this one metaphor. Just the main point. Kita focus on the main point. Apa isunya kat sini? Okay, now it's 9:44. I wait until 9:45. Or what do you learn from this metaphor? What do you learn? Oh, it's already 9:45. Okay, write down what we learn. Okay, what do you learn from this metaphor? I need 2 or 3 answers before I can move on to the topic of culture. Okay, I need 2 or 3 response. Tak ada respon, kita tak move on lah, kita stay kat sini je. Tak habislah syllabus kita ni. Okay, I need more answer. At least 1 or 2 more. Thank you Asratul Nazira and Bakrisha for responding. Okay, it's good for trying, okay? At least 1 more answer. Balkis ada, Balkis? Dalam ni ada Balkis tak? Okay, Wan Aisyah. Alright, okay. Tak ada Batrisha, tak ada Asratun Nazira kata all the things have a function. All the things have a function. Okay, Batrisha kata the more the people work together, the stronger. It is related also. Yeah, it's not totally wrong. Okay. More the people work together, the stronger the organization. Yeah, in the department. Okay, the stronger the people in the organizations. Okay. The organization does not run smoothly as behavior, attitudes and feelings affect the whole process. Alright, okay, good, okay, for responding. Okay, it seems that as an individual who join an organization, yeah, you cannot be on your own. Okay, you have to means just like 1 or 2 of your friends mentioned that you have to work together and everything that people working together, the communication, how to solve problems, all of them will be reflected of whether the culture of the organization will be strong or not. Okay, so it's related Abang Trisha. Okay, tak ada yang tak berkaitan. Okay, so the 3 ni pokok ni represent the culture of organizations. They go there, they go deep, they hold everything in place. So for the organization to be strong maksudnya kat sini. Okay, they go deep ni tadi, they hold everything in the place. Yeah, the values, belief and corporate assumptions are root ni semua kena kukuh lah. Yeah, it means that how you and the rest of the members of the organization want to make sure that you can work together. Okay, and the second factor that affects the well-being life of our organizational tree is the climate. Water in the form of rain, like ni contoh-contohnya, like from the sun sustain our tree, itu bermaksud climate di tempat kerja tu. Yeah, sometimes hot, sometimes cold, sometimes some kuku kan. Yeah? The climate obviously has an impact on how much our tree can thrive. Climate represents the behavior, attitudes and feelings of the organizations, which in turn affect the organizational operational processes or life. Okay? In terms of communication, problem solving, decision making and how it learns. So not all trees are the same. Maksudnya, okay, every organization have some differences that make them strong in comparison to other organizations. So not all trees are the same. Each have different root system and each react to the local climate in different ways. Okay, so we go to this question, this cartoon kat sini. Okay, what happened to this employee? He's going to resign. Okay, I have had enough. Here's my resignation. Okay, but actually, the salary is not the problem. Kenapa dia nak keluar daripada company ni agaknya? Just write your answer. Salary is not a problem. Yeah, why people leave even the most high paying jobs? Yeah, in comparison to another industry or another, kalau kita guna equity theory, his salary is among the highest salary he got. Yeah, but he want to quit from working in the organization. What would be the factor? What would be the reason? Okay, it's 9:50. Okay, I wait until 9:51 to get your answer. Yeah, could be. Yes, okay. Could be, okay. Okay, so itu jawapan kawan awak ni. Orang yang sama juga yang bagi jawapan ni. Could be stress with the environment. Mungkin ada toxic people. Okay, so you just want to get away from that kind of environment and the people. Sama juga Batisha kata environment juga. Maybe the environment of working place is not comfortable. Could be not comfortable. Okay. Okay. Apa nama? Fitri pun jawab juga is the environment. Cuma tak tahu environment macam mana ni. Okay, macam tadi Seratus Nazira dia tambah could be toxic people. Okay, Batisha kata not comfortable working place, tak selesa. Okay, could be some kind of issues with the job environment. Alright. Okay. So culture ni memainkan peranan lah to actually to hold or to hold people to be working in the company sampailah umur bersara. Okay. The culture is not a strong culture. They cannot keep the people working. Okay, then the culture could be when they go out could be because of some kind of negative culture, negative environment. That cause individual, though they have salary is not the issue. It could be the environment, it could be the situation, it could be they cannot work together. No cooperation, for example. So culture might seem like this vague, intangible thing that LinkedIn influences ref board. Sekarang ni semua orang cerita pasal LinkedIn. Sebab kalau you want to apply for, dulu zaman saya tak ada lah benda-benda ni. Okay, want to apply for jobs. Okay, ni yang anak saya dia kerja keluar masuk yang network engineer tu. Dia dah apply another job, he got another job, dia akan start bulan 6 ni sama job tu network engineer juga. Okay, only salary is higher yang hari tu dengan Singapore punya company ni dengan UK company based in KL. Okay, saya kata semuanya dah, dia tanya pendapat saya kata dah semuanya dah dapat baby dah at the end of this year ni. Okay, pertama you kena confirmkan apa nama the position is a permanent position or not. Okay, dia dah contact dah dia punya HR. Okay, gaji tu memang dah lebih tinggi lah, lebih baik lah, sesuai lah kalau nak dapat anak. And then the second one, tak nak lah kerja tu is like 1 year contract, 2 years contract, then we going to go kan. Okay, permanent. The second one, apa yang saya suruh kat dia, lepas tu you semayang istihara lah, you have to make a decision. Mungkin Tuhan kuatkan yang mana. Sama juga macam you apply for a position ke, sama macam you nak kahwin ke kan. Sama juga macam you want to do anything. So tak kisahlah, semayang istihara boleh bantu insyaAllah. So however, culture is important because it will affect your experiences within the workplace and even your career trajectory. So how you this is the example of let me see. Okay, so think about it, the culture of a company directly impact the type of people who work and thrive there. So in turn this impact, somebody is it going to say something ke apa? Tak ada. Ada siapa nak cakap apa-apa ke? Okay, so what happened here, think about it, the culture of a company directly impacts the type of people who work and thrive there. In turn, the impact very tangible things. Benda-benda ni bos awak macam mana? When you mention just now, when your friend mentions for example environment, job environment ni lah semua ni. This would be some of the example ni. Your boss tu macam mana, what your boss is like, whether you get credit, you do something sepatah kata, bukan setakat sijil ke, bukan setakat reward ke, sepatah kata thank you pun tak ada. Ini pun isu juga. You did this great work, for example, yes. Lepas tu dia kata saya tolong juga. Kawan dia yang dapat, in this case kawan dia je dapat reward. I help too. Whether you have help, please clear this by tomorrow. Banyak benda semua umpan kat awak, or who do you get to learn from? Tanya senior tak nak bagi tahu, tanya saya cakap dengan anak saya juga, mama tak tahulah, mana lama dah tak belajar ni, try Google, rupanya macam ni juga. Macam we do not spot lah. Who you get to learn from? I don't know. Try Google. Sekarang semua kan Google. Nak pronounce things pun, terms pun, you just Google. Okay. So, here. So this is how people work lah. And this could be some of the reasons of people who got the high pay, but that's not the issue. The issues could be the something like this. The environment, the colleagues, the boss, the seniors, the subordinates are not helping. Okay. So we go to this one. This is the definition given by Robbins here. Culture is a common perceptions held by organization members, a system of shared meaning, something that is shared. Something that is shared, something that you enjoy doing together, and then that will also lead to the strong culture. Somebody mentions about strong culture, I think. So it's a system of shared meaning. Cooperativeness, doing work together. Ni nanti sampai ke situ. So these are some of the characteristic of culture. Different organisation they focus on different characteristic. Macam kita ni college, we focus more on the outcome. At the end of the semester, we want to know how many percent of the student got 3.5 and above. Nak bagi AKK nanti next week. Biasanya dia minggu ni awak tahu tak awak akan dapat yang kat rumah saya tak pasti macam mana cara dia nak buat. Dia nak buat program AKK, whether this week or next week, aku cannot remember. Anugerah Kecemerlangan College tu. So means we refer to at the end of the semester. At the end of the semester, how many percentage of student get less than 2.0? Ni bahaya. Kalau sekali semester 1 okey lagi, sekali kedua less than 2.0, out you go. So we look at the outcome, the details, but in terms of the outcome. Some company focus on innovation and risk taking. Like iPhone kan, dia produk dia yang keberapa tu belum sampai dekat maturity, that research and department dia dah buat kerja dah. A lot of we call technological company. Now we want to mop, you don't have to use mop air dengan mop tu. You boleh mop yang apa nama, the technological mops, or like the vacuum, vacuum, yang you just press then it move on its own. You want to fried chicken, you don't have to fry, you don't have to fry using oil. You can just use, apa nama dia, siapa dia kat rumah, bila nak goreng tu, you masuk dalam, apa nama dia, masih lupa. Dia punya nama dia tu. So you don't have to use oil anymore. So some people say it's healthy because you don't use oil. So saya kata tak bagus sebab dia guna air fryer, thank you. So saya ni semua benda tak bagus. Semua benda saya kena masak macam traditionally. Dia kata dia ada sama juga dengan when we were in the States kan, kita nak guna apa benda semua, sampai saya kata itu semua ada electrical, bahan kimia semua tak bagus. Alam lah. Okay, so I'm still cooking traditionally lah, in comparison to maybe the youngsters kan, which is much memang lebih mudah. Or you can use yang paling mudah dia kata Thermomix, okay, at the price of more than 7,000 kan. Ramai je orang beli. Okay. For example, so just put everything, they'll do, just put the ingredients, they do all the process. Okay, pandailah all these machines. Okay, by using a computer technology. Okay, you letak je nak masak apa, tekan apa berapa minit ke, and then they go on step by step. Macam saya rasa macam jenuh juga nak tunggu, nak lepas ni proses ni tekan ni. Wallahualam lah. So ikut kesesuaian dan kesukaan masing-masing. Saya makan lah nasi goreng anak buah suami saya masak dengan Thermomix tu. Rasa dia okey, sedap. Cuma orang tua ni saya kata, saya masa makan tu saya dah kata dah, dia punya cili tu tak garing sangat. Lepas tu balik rumah ni saya kata, Mama cili tu dia okey lah, berasa lah. Maknanya the machine is good enough, but cili dia tak garing sangat. Orang tua macam-macam kan ceritanya. So means that it's depending on the needs or the requirement of your organization. You can read the details. Buku lama saya ni is on page 155. Okay, the new module tu I think is of different page tu yang awak punya. You just go to what is culture, and then the characteristics, characteristic of an organization culture in terms of innovation, attention to details. Okay, if you are working in the accounting department, forensic department, apa lagi nak detail. When you're working in accounting, forensics, you're working even in research, you have to focus on the details, okay? And then outcome, example, college kan, focus on at the end the outcomes, or even lots of companies also at the end. Marketing, they want to look at the outcome also. Sales also want to look at the outcomes, okay? People orientation, okay? Macam kita ni modal insan, okay? We can put also, we are here, okay? Focus on people orientation. Bahagian semua manusia or human resource department, they should focus more on people orientation, the development of the people, means that they apply employees, they mold employees, they're providing training, courses, okay? Some employees, they want to go for higher education, so that especially the human resource department. And team orientation, so lots of employees, a lot of companies now, they focus on the ability for employees to be working as a team. Okay, aggressiveness, okay, for example, you join military, police force, okay, bomber and so on. The fire brigade. So they focus, the focus is more on that type of culture. Stability is depending. If you like to choose this one, you tengok you punya ni apa you punya product ni. Is it traditional product? But if you want to compete with the competitors and you don't change, that will be dangerous for the organization. Orang lain dah berubah, you don't want to change, you preserve traditionality. Dia ada dua lah. Kalau you can survive, either you can survive or you cannot move, you cannot compete to the competitors, except you still got the customers who still buy your products. Macam dodol kan kita masih beli lagi, macam ketupat kita masih makan lagi, for example. So ada certain products we can preserve, we can stay in stability. Kalau innovation product you don't, kalau for technological product you don't compete, then we be in trouble lah. Contohnya Nokia kan dah tak dengar dah cerita dia sekarang. So there are some of the characteristics of the organization. So depending on the organization, every organization they have to focus on the important culture characteristic. So tajuk-tajuk macam ni you kena tahulah ni types of culture ni. Do organizations have uniform culture, types of culture, dominant culture, subculture, core values, strong culture? Ni we always ask. We always ask. Alright. Okay. Dominant cultures expresses the core values that is shared by semua orang. Shared by majority of the organization members. If you go to KPM Molek, you know this is a college, so we focus on education. So semua kita buat is for education purpose, to mold the students. So at the end of, then we have the what we call PLO, CLO tu at the end of the course. Itu untuk course saja. PLO tu for the whole program. For the whole program of business studies. So at the end of the program, okay, we want the students to be like this, like that. In terms of, for example, entrepreneurs, in terms of soft skills-nya macam mana. PO tu at least after 2 years of moving away from the college. But tu we want to have a close contact also with the alumni. Kita nak tahu where will you be, or where are you after 2 or 3 years time after graduating from college, for example. So expresses the core values. So core values ni apa? Core values ni adalah the primary or dominant values that are accepted. So primary or dominant values, okay, mungkin based on the one of the characteristics of the organization culture. So core value is the primary or dominant values that are accepted daripada atas, tengah, bawah. Customers also know that you are focusing on, the stakeholders also know. The primary or dominant values that are accepted throughout the organization. Okay, expresses the core values. Core values pula apa? Adalah the primary or dominant values. Yang dikongsi bersama, shared by majority of organization members. The whole organization. Kalau subcultures, anybody can see can you see the differences between dominant culture and subcultures? Boleh tulis dekat chat tu. Yes, I know, or no, I do not know. The differences between dominant culture and subcultures. So saya nak satu jawapan lah, sama ada yes, I know, maknanya tahu ada bezanya, or no, I do not know. So 10:07 minit. I need it in 10:08 minit. Okay. Alright. Okay, yang lain? Anas, okay tak? Megat? Aisyah Farhana? Whether yes, I know, or no, I don't know. Alright. Okay. Yang ni tadi dah faham kan yang dominant culture ni? Dominant culture ni yang dikongsi bersama by everybody in organization. Alright. Kalau subculture, dia ni sub. Okay, so one organization, and then in the organization they have department, HR department, finance department, macam kita ada 4 departments, and then we have the administration unit. So every unit ataupun every department tu, they have their own culture, dia jadi subculture. Macam masa saya buat master nanti, saya punya pensyarah marketing, dia marketing manager from lupa which company. Dia akan masuk kelas, dia akan kata marketing is the main, dia pun kata paling penting dalam company, because without marketing then we don't get profit, bla bla bla. Lepas tu saya punya lecturer operation management lecturer, saya adalah operation manager from one of a factory in Melaka. Dia masuk, dia datuk. Susah sikit nak faham. Dia yang tu transfer, yang operation ni siapa aja. Dia akan kata operation is the main important department, because we do producing, we make sure we got enough output, blah blah blah. So to show that this department, they have their own life. This department, they have their own life, they focus on their own life in that particular department. So they focus on their own subcultures ataupun mini cultures. Or just like when I mentioned about KPM kan, so we are all, nama dia depan semua sama, KPM, College Professional Mara, and the back tu ada Air Molek lah, Bandar Penawar lah, whatever. They have their own culture juga. Itu ada soalan ke? Megat? Enggak ada soalan ke tertekan? Oh, so itu menunjukkan that every branches or every department they have their own mini cultures. Okay? Tapi sebab tu kita kena berbalik kepada vision of mission MARA, okay, to show that we are one whole organisation. Only the way of doing things tu, each of the department or each of the branches tu, they have could be some a bit of differences. Okay, in comparison to one company, one branches or one department. Okay, so we call it mini cultures. Jadi dominant culture ni the whole organisation kena jelaskan dulu. Jangan nanti dia jadi macam berpuak-puak lah. Okay, so if you have your own subcultures, but at the end tu you know that this is the vision, this is the missions from our organisation. Jadi apa yang kita buat dekat department ataupun of different branches tu, still we need to reflect the whole dominant culture. Okay, so many cultures within an organisation typically defined by sama ada department designation or geographical separation, okay, the branches ni tadi. Okay, department could be a functional department, can be the process department, can be apa lagi, product differences, product department. Okay. So sekarang dah jelas tak beza ni? The dominant and the subculture ni. Okay, so if it is okay, you write 222 on the chat. Kedua dah ada. Okay, if it is okay, you write 222 on the chat. Okay, thank you Aisyah. Okay, Megat, thank you. Yang lain-lain okey tak? Okay, Alia Uzma. Awani, Safia, alright, okay. Nah, tu bezanya. Ni core values tadi dah jelaskan adalah part of the dominant culture. Dalam dominant culture kena ada core values yang dikongsi bersama. Okay. Then tak kira sama dominant culture or subculture, but it's much more important for an organisation, okay, to have a strong culture. So means that whatever it is, whatever happening in the departments or branches, the top management of the whole organisation, macam department tadi ada department head of department yang jaga ataupun the department manager yang jaga. Okay, so the people at the top tu, the CEO ke, nama dia president ke, the director ke, dia yang kena make sure that the members from different department tadi, they work together for the benefit of, for the good of the whole organisation. Okay, supaya dia dapat strong culture, which is a culture in which the core values ni tadi atas ni are intensely held and widely shared. Okay, sebab tu one of the questions, or one of the questions from MQA that we have to answer, okay, adalah dia nak tahu the vision, the previous MPP, they have to know that. Okay, especially for DRA kan, because they have interview. Okay, they interview MPPs also. Okay, so MPP pun kena tahu. It means that the vision, missions of college ni as a whole, apa dia. So siapa yang tak tahu lagi the visions of missions of college KPM Molek ni, you go to the website of KPM Molek, you tengok the vision missions of the college. Sebab kalau MQA, when they interview students, nak kira MPP or the other students that they interview, dia nak tahu, you tahu tak the visions and missions of the organizations. They focus on that one. That's the main one of the main questions. Because from that, they can know that we have a strong culture or not. Kita tahu tak tujuan college ni untuk apa, ditubuhkan untuk apa, tahu tak vision college ni apa, mission dia apa, tahu tak at least the PO, kena cari PO DBS. Saya rasa tak pasti sekarang dah, dia orang sekarang dalam website kita, PO DBS, PLO DBS. CLO tak apa, CLO cost line outcome tu you tengok dekat syllabus table 4 yang lecturer awak bagi, ataupun dia apa nama dia, SOW yang lecturer awak bagi, scheme of work tu, dia ada CLO 1, 2, 3. Itu you kena capai at the end of each of the course. PLO you kena capai sebelum you graduate. Okay, sampai semester 6 dia tengok you capai tak. Dia ada percentage-nya. Itu kerja saya kena reportkan every semester. Dalam mesyuarat. But of course I help the rest of the committee lah to help me to get, because we'll get at the end of the semester, kita kena kumpulkan semua result student ni, kita tengok capai tak capai tu. And then I have to report, and then we have to report to BPT. So it's not an easy life. Sebab dulu mengajar tak ada buat benda-benda ni. Sekarang everything. So you finish your, habis je exam, you mark your paper, you key in the marks, we have to do a snack meeting, we do the snack meeting, and then we have to report pula. Okay, you capai ke tak capai, setiap CLO tu you capai tak capai, saya tahu kursus mana tak capai, kursus mana capai. And then kita tengok daripada setiap kursus tu, kita tengok at the end tu, setiap kursus tu campurkan pula the metrik dia untuk setiap semester. Okay, macam awak lah semester 2 saya tahu subjek apa yang capai, bukan awak seorang tau, I mean everybody. Kalau seorang tu dah tahu you fail tak fail tu you tahu. Okay, now we look at everybody, the percentage for everybody. Itu every semester, tengok capai tak capai. And then at the end of the 2 years, kita tengok PLO awak capai tak capai. Tu kerja saya. And then we have to report. And then lecturers punya kerja lagi kesian. Student fail, dia kena report. Seorang student fail, dia kena report. Kalau 6 orang student fail, dia kena report. Kenapa student fail? Student yang fail, but the report need to be done by the lecturers. Tu kalau student fail, tu satu hal. Okay, kalau ni the percentage of the student yang tak capai CLO, kan CLO yang every ke atas awak punya SOW tu ada CLO, they have to report juga. Kenapa tak capai? Macam-macam alasan lah, itu terpaksa bagilah. Okay? Dan kalau yang tu tak capai, kalau PLO setakat ni alhamdulillah sampai tahap PLO, alhamdulillah dia capai. Dia tak capai masa tahap kursus subjek-subjek tertentu. Bila sampai PLO setakat ni, all the cohort your senior sampai PLO, at the end of the 6th semester, capai. Kalau tak capai, I have to do the answer. Saya pun kena karang pula. Kenapa? What's the reasons? Okay? So life is not that easy like 1 to 3. Okay? So that's why we're very particular. You masuk kelas ke tak masuk kelas, you pass, you not pass. Okay, you are not in the class, you are not answering question, we don't know what happened to you. Okay, we are very particular because we have to answer the question later on. Kesian lecturer yang kalau student dia ramai yang fail, lots of failure, they have to answer. Kalau 6 orang dia, kalau seorang, okay lah seorang dia jawab. Kalau 6 orang, nak kena tahu pula budak ni dalam kelas macam mana. Okay, ada respon tak dalam kelas. Macam ni saya kalau nak ikutkan ramai yang not responding. We don't know. Okay, no feedback given. Semua tu we have to answer. That is part of our responsibility. Whatever it is, that's part of our responsibility. So we have to know where you are. Are you here in this class? Are you with us? Semua tu we have to answer later on. Okay, because kita kan tadi saya kata college kan dia fokus ni. College biasanya fokus on the outcome orientation and people orientation. Because kita develop what? Modal insan, people here. Like bahagian semua manusia juga, we develop the modal insan, the people. You are people, you are not producing products like those who are in the marketing. They might focus on the attention to the details on the productions. Or the outcome in terms of the products, or the sales. Kita kat sini people orientation. The soft skills, soft things is here. People kat sini. Alright. So this is just to show that if you have strong culture, ni soalan-soalan ni tak ada, ni saya baru tambah. Saya tambah hanya. Tapi for you to know, macam at the beginning of the topic of culture tadi kita cerita mengenai that we have to work together. We have to, somebody mentions of cooperativeness also. So we have to have for company to have strong culture, kita kena ada yang atas ni, what it is, not what it is not. We have to work together to get things done. Employees trusted to perform their work, job well. Credit is shared fairly. Leaders and employees are accountable to each other. Then we can have a strong culture. Sama juga dengan, nanti lagi kat transparent ni. So why it is not, departments working in silos. Okay. Although you are working in one department, but you have to actually interdependent. You depends on other departments. You tak boleh working in silos. Itu yang bila sales buat sales dah dapat dah number of customers, but when they refer to productions, barang tak ada, barang tak cukup. Okay, so we have to work interdependently. Okay. People hoard credit. Orang lain dapat kredit, orang lain tak dapat. No trust for employees, constantly micromanage. Sampai detail pun you nak manage. Yeah. The one that you can just let their employees to do on their own, to make decision on their own. Cult of personality. Ni yang tak nak juga ni, dia macam ada, okay. Personality tertentu that you cannot join. Okay, the group, or you become, kalau itu yang cult personality. Yeah, you got your own personality that you don't want to join, ataupun you are rock stars yang you nak menonjolkan diri. Okay, instead of working with others. Okay, gossip, sabotage, backstabbing should not be available in a company if we want to have a strong culture. Okay, lepas tu dia tak cerita juga pasal transparency culture. Okay, for us to have what we call strong culture also, we have to have transparent culture. Okay, feedback, information and data is freely and honestly shared between colleagues and departments, but two, you have to be interdependent with other departments. Okay, semua kita share kan, masukkan kat website, masukkan dekat Facebook, masukkan dekat the formal Facebook lah, formal IG contohnya. Okay, it also means being able to express negative feedback on the company supaya kita nampak dan kita boleh perbaiki. Okay, right. Okay. So specific result of strong culture should be, sepatutnya when we can work together, when we are transparent enough, kita boleh lower employee turnover. Jadi tak adalah kes macam ni. Ya, mula-mula tadi, mana tadi ni? Ni. Okay. I have had enough, here's my resignation. Okay. Walaupun dapat gaji tinggi, but because of things like this, because of the negative ni tadi, the negative what it is not ni, plus maybe you don't know what happened, you don't have the info, you don't have the information. Yeah, things are not clear. Jadi dia akan jadi lower, dia akan jadi high turnover. Kalau strong culture, dia akan lower employee turnover dan higher employee satisfaction dan juga lower absenteeism. Okay, so if we have strong culture, then we can work we can work in harmony. Yeah, we can work together. We can work in harmony. Okay. Lepas tu, what is, okay, sambung sikit lagi. Okay, culture versus formalization. A strong culture increases behavioral consistency and can act as substitute of formalization. Kalau we have strong culture, kita tak perlu pun too many rules and regulation, because we have trust to each other. Okay. So what do cultures do untuk hari ni? Okay, functions of culture. Sometimes we ask also this question. Okay, bisa yang ni kami selalu tanya ni, of course lah the definition, sometimes on the characteristic. Okay, the types of culture ni always come out in the MCQ question. We can also ask this question. Okay, the functions of culture. Fungsi culture untuk apa? To define the boundary. Ni boundary kita, ni college kita, ni organisasi kita. Yang lain tu they have some differences. So define the boundary between one organization and others. Commit sense of identity means that you know you belong to that company. You belong to, you enjoy working, you love the company. Facilitates the generations of commitment to something larger than self-interest. Sometimes you'll do more on behalf of the company, enhances the stability of the social system, serve as sense making and control mechanism for fitting employees in the organization. Okay, you nak masuk ni, this is what you have to do. This is what you're going to be. Then you can be part of the company. Okay, tak apa, kita boleh skip. What do cultures do? Boleh baca sendiri. Okay, how culture begins ni, macam mana asas dia. Sebab tu tadi saya ceritakan asasnya. Kita asasnya 1993. Bukan nama kita, bukan College Professional Mara. Nama kita adalah Institute Pergelagangan Mara. Okay, so I could not remember, but around 2000 kot, late 1990s. Okay, baru tukar nama College Professional Mara. Okay. So founders hire and keep only employees yang boleh dia rasa dia boleh match to be working in the company. Founders lepas tu they give training. Mara akan bagi hantar training for new staff, new employees. Lepas tu if you got higher position pun dia hantar training lagi. And then if they believe that you need certain skill pun dia akan hantar training courses some more. Then founders indoctrinate and socialize the employees to their way of thinking. Founders own behavior acts a role. Ni especially kalau founders ni the private organisation lah. Founders macam apa nama Vivi, founders macam siapa lagi? They are the one who have to be the role model, okay? To be seen by the employees. Macam Rafida yang dia jual handbag from US tu, for example. So the founders, yang pengasas tu, founders of cosmetic, dia pengasas tu, dia kena jadi contoh lah pada yang lain-lain. Okay, keeping culture alive through selection. Pilih candidate, okay, candidates will fit into organisation. Lepas tu provide information to candidates. Top management have established norms that are adopted by organisation. Lepas tu berlakulah proses social when you come. Macam awak semester 1 you belum masuk, lepas tu you jumpa kawan-kawan, you belajar masa orientasi, this is what you cannot do. Berlakulah proses socialization. The process that helps new employees adapt to the organization's culture. Dalam socialization tu ada 3 stage. Satu pre-arrival. Bila you baru masuk, the period of learning in the socialization process sebulan 2 bulan. Encounter stage, the stage in the socialization process new employees sees the organization is really like, dia dah tahu, dah boleh kerja dah. And confront the possibility that expectation may really expectation and reality may diverge. Kalau dia rasa tak sesuai tu, ini yang dia dah start, sama ada dia stay but no IP ataupun dia go out. Meta, more forces ni, socialization process which new employee changes and adjust. Yang tak adjust tadi mungkin dia dah keluar. Changes and adjust to work group and organisation. So that's it lah. Then akhirnya, if they stay then nampaklah akhirnya in terms of productivity up ke, commitment, kalau turnover down or something not right lah during the process tu, maybe masa encounter tu dah ada yang dah turn out. Sebab apa? Sebab they cannot stay with the company because they cannot adapt and adopt to the system in the organisation. Okay. Ni macam ni kita belajar tadi, learn culture. Daripada cerita-cerita dulu dekat website ada dia punya history of KPM tu. Yes, saya tak pasti ada lagi ke tak. Tengok kat situ, stories daripada language usage and so on. So this is of the questions. You can attempt the question later lah because it's already 10:28 pun. Okay, so means that this coming Wednesday, I will focus on the last topic. Kalau tak cukup nanti we'll continue to the next week. But the next week tu on Monday will be a holiday kan, tahu kan? Perasan tak? Monday is a holiday. Next week. Kau perasan tak?
Yes, madam.
Alright, nanti kalau tak cukup nanti still I have to do kelas gantilah. Kalau cukup then you can start doing your revision because I have included some of the question in the classroom. Okay, you can do on your own lah. Cari jawapan sendiri. Kalau tak ada jawapan, cari jawapan sendiri. Okay. Siapa yang masih tak masuk tadi? Darwish? Alright, 0. Faiz? Itulah bagi tak jawab. 0. Darling? 0. Amirul Hafizi masuk kan?
Yes, madam.
Alright. Okay. Lepas tu yang sebelah ni, okay, semua ada. Plus D, okay, semua ada. Alright, that's it. Everybody can go except I want to talk to Batrisha sikit. Okay, Assalamualaikum everybody.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Madam, salam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, madam.
Alright.